Okay, welcome to NRF 2026. This is Duncan here reporting for Cambridge Retail Advisors in the Cambridge Coffee Corner at Live at NRF. And I'm joined by some very esteemed gentlemen. I'm joined by John Carney, VP of Architecture for Aptos. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Matt.
I'm joined by soon-to-be retired multiple CIO extraordinaire Mike Holland. Welcome, Mike. And fellow Cambridge Retail Advisor partner, Joe Romain. Welcome, Joe. Okay, so we're going to delve into, in this little chat, the theme of AI in the customer journey. I know AI is a massive buzzword in the last couple of years, but we're starting to see practical examples of where AI is really being used in anger. And I think it's good for us to reflect on that. So we're going to come to, I'm going to come to you first, John. I'd like you to talk about literally providing tools into the customer journey that really change the customer journey from being like a one-off incident into using tools to make it more of a relationship build.
Absolutely. What we're seeing in the marketplace right now is customers are really willing to give up data and they know we're getting it. But if you can use that data in a way that benefits them, allows them to build their own collection, see data, organize in the way that they want to see it, rather than the way the retailer sees it, they're very accepting of AI and all the things that entails.
Yep. Fantastic. So turn it to you, Mike. Talk to me about bridging the gap between the journey on the shelf and taking that customer through to their conclusion.
Yeah, I'll talk about pricing and promotion, very specific to that in that customer journey. But the customer today has so much more information at their fingertips. Once they find a product they like, then they're going to look for it until they find the right price. So in the retail and the customer journey, you want to make sure that you are priced appropriately to get the right eyeballs from your customer. AI out there has got some incredible tools to be able to scan your competitors' websites, match up your competitive SKUs, and basically bring the best price that your customer wants to pay compared to the rest of the competition out there and tell you what you should be pricing the product at. Same for promotions. And so that's the powerful tool that we're seeing out there. And there's some great tools in the marketplace from Netel's Profit Mind that's doing that. That's real proven technology that's happening in retailers today.
Yeah. Have you seen any examples of how the customer gets to know that there's this optimization on their behalf going on?
Well, I guess in any search engine results, you're starting to see the myriad of suggestions that are coming back to them. And at some point, their customer gets wise to the fact that why, my search is coming back with all these very similar products. I mean, we've all seen it. We've all had it in our own personal lives. Google will bring back all kinds of search results that are similar to what you're bringing back. Well, behind the scenes, retailers are looking for similar products, similar prices, and they're coughing that up. The customer knows what's happening. I see that. They know they're being listened to, analyzed with, and but they're okay with that because the end result is I want the product I want at the price I want. And that's what AI is now delivering.
Yeah. John, I'm going to turn to you now and just talk a little bit more about pricing transparency. What have you seen in the marketplace around that transparency, because there's a value proposition that the customer's trying to consume here, and transparency of the pricing is something that they're starting to count on a lot.
Yeah, well, definitely. And just based on what we got from our recent consumer survey that will actually be going out later today, is people are really looking for that transparency in pricing, as you're saying. But I think they're looking at a different angle. Number one, I think we've all mentioned, is be able to give them the best offer out there, whether it's offer from competitive pricing, or hey, maybe I like to call partnership pricing. Over time, they start looking at the cart, looking at what you're trying to achieve, and maybe just make it more dynamic based on the customer. Yes, you might have that flat pricing, but possibly, hey, based on this, maybe we'll give them a deal because they're going to earn that trust for future visits by doing something like that.
So, could I add on to that? The big thing that I've seen in other retailers is that the customer is becoming very resistant when talking about transparency. They really want to know that final price.
Yeah.
They hate going through you got to enter this coupon code and this discount code, and then you'll only see it in the cart on checkout. They hate that. And yeah, we retailers keep doing that to our customer. And we see backlash. We see people dropping off in their cart, start checking out because they're like, I'm not going to go through that journey.
Yeah.
Give me the best price right now.
Yeah.
And you'll have them hooked early.
Yeah. So let's drill into that a little further, right? Like, so I've seen the buzzword around auto advocacy. What you're trying to create there is the customer not having to do their own investigative work and drill into different pricing and things like that. Where do we go in terms of having the customer trust what they're being told is the best that they can get without having to go there?
Well, I think it starts with the retailer being able to present a fair and honest and best price from the very, very beginning. And I think that, we've all seen this over the last 10 years, how many retailers have had that problem where their customers only waiting until Black Friday, only waiting until Christmas, or only waiting for I know I'll have an Easter sale, so I'll wait till then. This transparency, this advocacy thing is we want the customer to buy when they need the product, and we need to offer up that price that is fair to us, fair to the customer, and we just need to do that consistently. And unfortunately, far too many retailers put this promotional hook out there, and then they take it back, and then they put it back, and you find your customer starts to leave you, and everyone wonders why that's happening.
Yeah.
That's why they're happening.
Yeah.
Trust quitting,
Right.
or they trust that there'll be a sale coming up.
Yeah.
They're just going to wait. That's not a really good customer experience, right?
Yeah.
And I think you should click on that is the building of trust, right? Building trust over times. And it says, I think it takes to his point, transparency, doing the right pricing that makes sense to them. But it's using these tools as to do the simple task, right? I call manage the pantry, the things that are easy, that it will make their lives easier throughout the journey. So they start essentially earn the right for become a partner with that person. And it opens up more data, better transparency, and better solutions.
Yeah. Good stuff. So we're going to need to get towards the start to get towards the end of our little chat here. But I'm going to finish by asking you a question, John, around, I'll call it the POS for every POS for every demographic. So you've got millennials and Gen Z that can come in really intelligently, and they've got more tools available to them than the retailer can ever have. But you've got the opposite end of the spectrum as well.
Absolutely. And to follow up a little bit on what you guys were saying here, the perspective is from the customer. The software should be there to help me. And if it's not, it's a problem. And the further you go down the demographic chain, the more stringent that idea is.
Yep.
The more paywalls or barriers you put up to getting the best deal, the best pricing, the more adverse it affects that relationship. So the point of sale has to understand what that target demographic is for the retail and how you want to communicate. This will be particularly true in AI, where tonality and brand awareness has got to be customizable to that end retailer. What an action sports apparel retailer wants to communicate, how they want to communicate versus what someone's selling, 50-year-old women's sundresses. They're very different concepts. The point of sale has to know and be able to be configured to communicate in a way that's relevant to the brand.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's about all we've got time for this morning. To Joe, to Mike, to John, thanks for joining us. This is Duncan for Cambridge Retail Advisors. Back to the studio.